attention. 3, 2, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're reaching for the top, and we'll never fall below.
I do my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feel? My hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, hair.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Cheer Chatter Podcast. I'm Shaquesta.
I'm Kay.
I'm Isha.
And welcome to another episode. So we have something good to talk about today, as usual. But we're going to do a little bit more digging to say. So we want to know, how important is the administration, not just at your school, but also on the rec league level, and parental involvement? How important is it to your cheer program?
So we're asking all to chime in. Let us know as we get through this topic of discussion. What are your thoughts? Your dislikes, likes, gruntles, things of that sort. Chime in. Let us know how you feel about the situation.
I mean, from experience, I feel like administration can make it or break your team. And when I say can make or break, it's times where I've dealt with the administrative that don't support your vision. And when I say don't support your vision, a lot of times coaches do what's best for their team, not what's best for the look of maybe the park or the school or anything like that. They do what's best for them and what's best for their success. And I'm just going to give my own personal example, and I know you guys know the story because you were with me with it. So first of all, I got a team that was kind of just thrown together because they wanted a team on the park to be the team, and I kind of got the leftovers, which I don't have a problem with because I'll coach whatever, doing whatever. I don't have a problem with getting the kids that are not so good, but where I did have a problem with it is because I did have girls that were good, but age wise they were kind of stuck with the girls that weren't so good, because they were trying to build another team. And again, I cared because those girls that were good were kind of stuck with sloppy seconds. However, I'll coach, like I said, I'll coach anything, but there were girls that could have moved up, and the teams could have just been split equally. So you got, a couple of newbies on here, a couple of experience, on both teams. But of course, when you have I won't even say a park favorite because I won't say that team was that good. But the people who were coaching were more of the favorites. I'm not usually the favorite, because I'm open to say what I mean and mean what I say. And I don't really care who you are or whether you like what I have to say or not. If it's right, it's right. It's wrong, it's wrong. But as the season went forward, I was kind of being forced to make my girls go to get choreography, and they weren't looking at the big picture. First of all, we struggled to keep the girls on the team. We struggled to have a team. We struggled to keep the girls on the team. We struggled to keep them from halfway killing each other because always a beef every week, but we got them through it. And then we got them excited for competition because we had a team full of dancers. All they wanted to do was dance. Their personalities were amazing. But we created a routine that tailored to them. And the parents didn't have to come out of their pockets no more money. So now we have girls on the team that are new cheerleaders whose parents are not aware of all of the extra costs. And I took that away from them so we could just finish the season, go out with a bang. There were only 3 teams in their division. No, 4.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that we could have at least got second with the routine that they had, that I was giving them, that we were giving them. I don't want to say I because we were together. That we were giving them. We collectively made up the routine with the girls. They had fun. It was some advanced stunting and things like that. They were getting it. They had got it. And we were ready to compete. But because the park felt like they needed to get choreography, and then there was one part of the routine that was considered illegal stunt that I ended up changing. It was an issue. It was just continuously an issue. And it got to the point where they brought somebody else into my practice to take over my team and didn't even let me know at the last minute. And with those girls being able to at least get second, they ended up getting last place. So not only did they take the coach that they had the entire time, but the girls ended up losing 4 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with horrible administration. um So I've experienced the bad administration. In track, I've experienced good administration. I haven't experienced good administration with cheer. My patience didn't allow me to do it long enough to get good administration. I don't think I've ever been under good administration with cheer, because I do what's best for the kids, and people like to do what's best for them in the park. And
Adult. Let's call it
yeah,
what it is.
something that
What's
don't
best for them.
matter in my opinion. But in track, I've been under good administration where that was a part of the time where we did the best individually and as a team, because our administration was supportive. They would come to the track meets, they would ask us what we need. And
And
then we,
that's important.
The
yes.
kids
Vis-
like to see the
Visibility.
administration
Mm-hmm.
and
Be
Mm-hmm.
the
visible.
support of them. Even if it's one at a time and they rotating or whatever the case may be, they just like to see them. So
Yep.
Hmm.
therefore, it plays a role is, like, and to know that you're being supported with whatever
Hmm.
is what the kids need to hear and see. I think we dealt with a bad administration as well on the high school level. We won't name the school, but um, um, Q and I went through a lot at this particular school, and they sort of did the same thing they did to us at the park that shall remain nameless. Um, with bringing somebody in to kind of filter in, to kind of push us out, so to speak, and did it in a very malicious and underhanded type of way, so to speak, only for it to backfire on them as well. Um, I don't even know what happened to that individual, but at that particular school, administration
To be
was
honest, it
not
don't
so.
even matter. Cause guess what? What they tried to
Yeah,
do,
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
It completely dismantled the
Program.
program as a whole. All the progress in which we had made had just been completely demolished and uncalled for, and it's all because a certain administrator just didn't want to support. I just didn't understand why they didn't want to support anything outside of academics. I'm all for academics, don't get me wrong, but the kids need something to strive for academically.
see a day and age where these kids realize that they could be multi-millionaires off of social media. They don't need a
Correct.
brain to they
You
don't need
you need a
no
brain because
brain power
it's a
to
whole
be.
lot more to just making videos and making clips.
Correct.
Because if you,
Listen, there for many of them, but a
yeah,
lot of those people that have become social media famous, they ain't use no brain power. They was just idiots and became social media famous. We know the backstories of a lot of many of of the ones that are up and coming and then boom, because we're trying to do that ourselves. However, there are some that just stumbled upon being dumb, and they're multimillionaires of for being dumb. And that's what our kids are starting to lean towards. Like, I ain't gotta go to school. I can make my money on social media. Not and but we as adults, we know that it's a lot more to that. For the vast majority, you
Mm-hmm.
have some anomalies, but for the vast majority, we know as adults that it's not that simple. And but
No,
we have to find other ways to make them interested in getting what they need so they can be successful and then eventually come back in, whether they thank us or not. But we gotta still have a way in providing the service or providing the clear thought. And if they, like Kamisha was saying, if they don't have a motivation to want to go to school, to want to go to class, to want to make good grades, they just gonna come and terrorize it.
correct.
Yeah.
Especially
Absolutely.
if they could get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
I,
know they
I
come
got
today, they might set the school on fire and be back there tomorrow.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we all have
I'm
experiences.
gonna say no comment.
You said who?
That's the
No
safe place, but
comment?
no comment.
Yeah. For
For
your
me, no
yes,
comment.
you don't say nothing else. I can say what I want. You don't say nothing else.
Go ahead. Go, yeah, go ahead.
Um, so we know that there are, processes and procedures that have been guidelines that have to be followed in terms of, getting, funding and getting, materials and getting things that the program needs so that way it can be successful. So what do, when you have an administration who don't support that, who refuse to, be, you know, transparent with funding opportunities and just overall just support the program. So as a coach, like how do you handle that? I know with us when we were at that particular school, you know um we didn't get that type of support in terms of like things were being moved and we didn't know where the stuff was going. We had no clue.
But that's always a
And
question for me.
That seems to be a trend in
It
administration
does.
when it comes to sports outside of football. Some schools, depending on what school, outside of football and basketball, but for the most part, outside of football, that happens to all sports that are not football or basketball. Um, and unfortunately, we don't have the questions. I mean, we don't have the answers to as to why that happens. But going back to your original question, like, how do you deal with it? And what would be my idea would be, okay, we have athletes on these teams. I call cheerleaders athletes as well, but we have athletes on these teams. As parents, we should want the best for them as well. So we go to rely on the parents. That's where the parents come in. Hey, parents, school ain't giving us no money. We need a little push from y'all. Not saying come out of your pocket, but solicit a couple of dollars from your homegirls and your homeboys and do a little fundraising, or take this sponsor letter to your job or something like that. And
mm-hmm,
that goes into the second part of our topic today,
mm-hmm.
which is parent
Parental.
Parents.
involvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
So
mean, we all have been parents as, parents to an
absolutely.
athlete, and, mine is the only girl and she is the cheerleader. So it's expensive as hell. It is like expensive, not just for just the packages, but just the overall travel is expensive. When it comes to football, if you don't, go past in the playoffs, it's kind of like, you're there. Of course, you won't spend money on gas and, getting to and from games, but with cheerleading, because it's so underfunded so, badly, a lot of the funding comes out of our pockets as a parent.
And
You
I think that's beyond crazy because I remember when we were in school, all the sports kind of like filtered and fed into each other as far as the pot was concerned. Or maybe I might be wrong. But football season, basketball season, track season, games used to be on swole. But
Depending on what
um,
school you went to, we were just
correct.
blessed to go to Dillard,
and
where our games were on swole.
So
but we also have to remember then those were real Dillard students. Now a lot of the kids that go to these schools aren't really those kids. That's not the
that's a whole
neighborhood
nother,
kids.
that's a whole
They're
nother
transplant students. So it's kind of like you got kids that's going to Deerfield and live all the way in Miramar. And you don't know nobody live in Deerfield.
understanding.
And
I'm
you only
all
there to
for I'm
uh-huh.
all for a kid going, doing what makes them happy, but some of that is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
But I
but
digress. Um, I think like the filtering into feeding of the pot is what I want to call it with those particular sports, with them being swole, so to speak. But the money coming in kind of helped offset a lot of the other things that other teams had going on. I don't think we ever really knew if a sport was struggling, so to speak, or if a
Well,
coach was.
how it's supposed to be handled, and I'm speaking because my dad was brought in to a particular school to clean up the money in athletics.
Mm-hmm,
We didn't know that the money in athletics was not being handled properly, but the principal that came in knew, and my daddy was the cleanup man. So my dad was a athletic director in on the middle school level forever, and then he got brought into high school to
mm-hmm.
be an assistant athletic director. But like I said, he was the cleanup man. Um, Ticket sales, concession,
Correct.
parking, all of that is supposed to go into one pot. In public schools, there is no, well, there's technically no football money, basketball money, volleyball money, any of that.
Mhm.
There's athletic department money.
Correct.
Um, every so many years, I want to say it's either 3 or 4 years. Each athletic team, so if you're considered a sport, there is money that is allocated to your school for you to get uniforms.
Mm.
When so nobody should be wearing the same uniforms after 5 years. No
Mm.
team. Because it's money given to you. I'm 100% positive. Well, I'm 98% positive it comes from BCAA, but then there's a possibility that it could come from the state. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 98% sure that it
because they
comes
do
from
get state
BCAA.
It
funding.
it
Each
comes
each
from
district
state.
gets state funding.
Right.
Correct. So it comes
So
into the
when it
district.
comes to uniforms, no one should be lacking because every, I want to say it's either 3 years or every 4 years, there is money allocated for
But a
each
lot of schools have gotten to
team.
where they just do the custom uniform, so they don't. Therefore, they don't even have to bother with it.
That's because the money that's coming from the district is not being used properly. So they don't want to continue to have old uniforms. So they customize them themselves and pay for them out of pocket, which is not what's supposed to be done. Now, when it comes to concession money, ticket money, and parking money, again, that's supposed to take care of all athletics. That's supposed to take care of whatever equipment is needed. That also that money that is allocated every so many years is supposed to take care of equipment. It's supposed to take care of pretty much whatever the teams need. But a lot of times, a lot of schools are so busy trying to uniform the football team or the basketball team that the money that's supposed to be spread around is no longer there for the teams that really need it. So, and then remember, a lot of people would do parking and they would say that is mandatory, but they wouldn't give you a ticket.
But
Where
now it
y'all
is
think that money was going?
wherever it's saw fit.
Right. The ticket was to make sure that every dollar that was collected
What's
Was
athletic?
accounted for.
went to athletics and was accounted for. If you sold a ticket and that ticket is gone, there should be $3 for that ticket.
But my
And
question
that's
is,
another reason why, even though COVID kind of pushed it along, that's another reason why when you do your sponsorships, when you purchase whatever tickets, it's all electronic now, because even things that you have to purchase for, like, I know with us, when we had to purchase our package for the football team, we had to do that online. We couldn't
you have,
go give it to Coach
yeah,
Tate or to
yeah,
the vendor or anything like that. We had to do it
everything.
online because money is always missing. Same thing with Go fans. People was pocketing money and it wasn't, and this is at all schools. Now parking need to go to the same thing, because I still think they're doing the same thing with parking, but I guess that's a little harder, which is really not. You could
Not
just buy
really,
your
because
ticket and
I
it.
know St. Thomas do their
St. Thomas
parking
makes you buy
on
your parking
GoFund.
pass beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's
Yeah.
it's it's actually a ticket, and you have to actually show it, and then they do the same thing they do as you go in for the football
Mm-hmm.
game. They do the same thing as you're pulling into their school to show that you pay for parking.
Yep.
Otherwise, you are not allowed to park in their parking garage.
In all honesty, like
But
being
I
for
think
real, I think what they should do is like what they do at Trash Powell. Tickets are a little bit more expensive, but parking is free. To me, you're gonna make more money off that, because let's say it's four of us
correct.
going to the game, and parking
You
parking
cover
is usually
parking
about
and the
$3.
Well, Trash Powell, it'd be something a little different. If that's the same thing with Lockhart, those are off-campus venues that the district has to pay for. So of course, tickets may be a little bit more because they have to, you
but you
know,
also
pay.
have to pay parking at
But that's
Lockhart.
why you paying
Mhm.
$10 to go to Trash Power, because you including that parking money that you normally would have made if you were at your own campus.
Mhm.
So
But
that's what I'm saying.
it's nothing different than. I think eventually they're going to get to that point, because I think eventually they're going to go completely digital just to make sure, just to
Money
make sure that
is
money is
is
because
actually accounted for.
correct. Which I don't see anything wrong with it to begin with, but my question is with the pots and things of that sort, and based on, is that Coral
Yeah.
Yeah.
comment, it kind of ties into what we were saying earlier, like they only help with state and hotel and bus, and then everything else they have to pay and fundraise for.
Ooh,
So,
child.
but my question is, when at certain schools, when you fundraise, the money that you fundraise for does it really get spent where it's supposed to be spent as well?
But
Because
this is my question though.
there have been
And
some
I
schools
don't
that
mean to
have
cut you
funded
off. I apologize. But why is only hotel and bus accommodated for state
because
when
it's reimbursement. It's they get reimbursed for it.
hold on. Let me continue now. A lot of these teams are not in city for regional. They have to travel.
Hmm.
For other sports, not only is state hotel and bus accommodated for, but also food. They get a what is it?
A
A
stipend
pregame meal.
A per diem.
per diem. Yeah. What we
They get
fundraise
per
for.
diem. Usually the coaches hold on to it, and
They don't
when the
get that
coaches
anymore.
hold on to it, they allocate it for whoever needs it. So let's say my kids, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say my kids got $100 to eat.
per day.
I'm gonna take them to where I could feed all the kids and use that $100.
But I don't think that,
I'm not gonna give them their $7 per day or whatever. Like even with us with track, what we used to do is we would tell the kids, okay, this is how much you can eat, and then you may have to buy your drink so that they can have a better meal. Because really, the amount of money that they give them per
so
It
it's
doesn't
really not
count.
enough when you're talking about inflation and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
but I
they're
don't
not doing that for cheer.
I
They're
don't think
doing it for other sports, but they're not
they
doing
don't
it for cheer,
per
and that's
diem
not fair.
for, but they don't do per diem for other sports either anymore. I don't think so, because even with a football team that was traveling, um
But
they had
but
had
that was
to ba-
for but that was for a game
but
that
they
they didn't have to go to.
no, I mean, even still, like, even they don't, I don't think they do that anymore. I know they did it when we were in school, because of the simple fact, when we went to state, we got an allowance for eating as well throughout the day. But I don't even think that that's something that's required of them anymore either. I think that they have to make sure that money is in their account for that to happen,
It has to
or
be
to make
budgeted
sure
into the fundraise.
that it has to
But
be.
that's what I'm saying. So like, let's just say, and because they do it for all other sports, my team make it to state.
I think it depends on the
It's
school.
money in the athletic account. Why you can't allocate that for my team to eat?
Because they ain't got no money.
Or you'll get hit
The
with
money there.
No.
when
I'm being sarcastic. I'm being
No,
yeah.
sarcastic.
I know that, but I'm saying the money is there. Allocate that for those girls to go eat.
They ain't
Because
got no.
you
We
telling
don't have
me
money.
I'm
We
competing
don't have money.
for a
We don't.
state title.
We don't have money.
I know what you're saying, but we're competing for a
Ain't
state title.
ain't no
Football ain't
money.
competing for no state title. Basketball ain't competing for no state
Ain't
title.
no money.
Badminton ain't competing for no state title. Street
Zero.
hockey
I
ain't competing for no state title, but
Depleted.
we are.
Nothing.
Why
let
we
me clear
can't eat?
There ain't no money.
let me be clear. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I wholeheartedly agree with you all day. I'm standing in 10 toes in with you on that
Hmm.
point. But I would think that when a team is going to represent your school in a positive way, you should break hell and high water to make sure that that team absolutely has
Hell,
nothing to want for.
if
But
I'm
you
a
have some
principal,
schools,
if
you
I'm a
have some schools
principal
that
and
just
I
don't
have
do
a
that.
team that is going to compete or trying to go compete on a high level, let's say it is football and they got to travel because they're getting ready to change all these football districts and
Oh
stuff.
God,
Let's say they got to go compete. We in South Florida and they got to go compete all the way in North Florida. I'm finna have a fundraising event in the community to make sure they're doing it. I'm gonna do the same thing for my cheerleaders. If they are going to compete to represent my school, I'm not gonna let them, just because they're supposed to fundraise and they might not have reached their goal, or they might have reached their goal, but their goal may not be good enough. I'm gonna make sure that my team at my school, no matter what it is, those kids can have a hotel for 2 nights, not one, so they can go up there and get rest the night before they have to compete. And because it gets out late, they can have rest the night after and they can celebrate just in case they win. They got the bus to do it and they got the food. No kid or parent should be coming out of their pocket after they've made it to state.
or before.
We ain't got no money. They ain't got no money.
What do you do in that sense?
Listen, if somebody hire me, I swear to God, I swear to God, I swear to God, I'll come do it. No, I'm just like that with the kids. Like we gonna have
I think
the
to be
whole
like
school.
that,
We finna do a car wash. We
but
finna have a skate party.
that's how you
Well,
should
that's
We
be in
might
the
go
but
old school and do bake
general.
sale.
it should be inclusive like that because it should
It
be an
should,
overall goal for
because
everybody because it's supporting the athletic department.
the kids are actually doing something positive. Why not praise them and celebrate them for doing just that? And then the
Uh-uh.
crazy thing about it is that you have some schools that just literally don't do anything. The kids can win and they just don't do anything.
All the principals want to
Nothing.
come do is take pictures. My thing is, every time those kids are in practice, they're not doing something negative with their life. They're not out robbing or beating up somebody or
Absolutely.
shaking their ass on social media. They not they might do it afterwards, but I'm saying in those moments that they're in my practice at my school, they're doing something that is positive in
Absolutely.
their life.
I,
I
and
got
it's,
them for a little while where they are not out creating havoc.
But
I
here's
don't
the
care what sport it is. Hell, they could be goddamn chess. In them hours that they are practicing, they are doing something positive. In them hours that they are competing, they are doing something positive. Why can't I, the principal, the administration, the athletic director, hell, the fucking teachers at the school, somebody should be able to step up and say, hey, let's rally around these kids because they're doing something positive so they can continue to do something positive. Because if they don't get to go and they get in some bullshit, I'm gonna feel directly responsible because I didn't try to help.
yeah, that's the way you think. That's the way
that's what
Commissioner think. That's the
I'm saying.
way I think. That's how we all feel.
A lot
But
of
the
people who work
reality
with
is,
kids feel
it
that way,
don't
but the
work that way.
reality is everybody
And
don't
that's
think that way.
sad
And it's
because it, to
tough.
me, I feel like they're in these positions for all the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of paper and it's a lot of title whores, excuse my French, who are in these positions. These people they don't want to live up to what it takes to be in that particular role and that particular title. I'm gonna be straight up and honest about it. It's a lot of damn principals, assistant principals, coaches, athletic directors. There are a lot of people who should not be in those particular roles because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Excuse my French again. They don't know what they're doing. They
Don't
have
even
no clue what
use
it
it.
takes to actually, you know what I'm saying, not just run the particular program, but to be supportive and to fundraise and to back these kids. Don't settle for, oh, we ain't got no money. No, I'm going to your juggler. Okay, if you don't have my answer, I'm gonna go to somebody above your head because at the end of the day, you can't sit here and tell me school just started and we ain't got no money.
None.
And ain't no program being the state, ain't no program being the regionals, ain't no program need no per diems, ain't no program needing any of this money. You can't sit here and tell me that we ain't got no money.
Hmm.
And
And I
football
get,
is the program that always take everybody out the red. So if
mm-hmm.
cheerleading is right after football and ain't nobody else went to state before that, it's some money for these
Oh yeah,
And that's
girls. And
because
let me stop saying girl
football
for
takes
these cheerleaders.
everybody out the red, to be honest.
They
I'm
do.
being completely honest. Football
I
takes
know they
everybody out.
do. Football takes
And so
every athlete.
every,
Football
every athlete
saves, and I'm talking college level and all. Football saves
saves
everybody's
athletic
school
department in general
because people come to watch football games.
all the time. All the
I
time.
agree.
So
I
I'm just
agree.
So why, if football ain't made it past the first round of playoffs, we
And
can't use that money and
then make
invest?
the playoffs. How about that? If your football program ain't even make the playoffs, you can't sit here and tell me that y'all ain't got no money. I need answers. I need to check books. I need to figure all this stuff out because it doesn't
okay.
make any sense to me. And I even, I even took it a step further and I went and inquired to the powers that be. And I asked about the protocol. Okay, if a program needs to, X, Y, and Z. And I think it is very important for your cheer program to fundraise. I think it is very important because not only is it you know what I'm saying, stacking your account and you getting the funding that you want so that you'll be able to do take it up a notch and you do those things with your program, but it's also teaching these young ladies about getting out the
Hustle.
mud. You you
Correct.
you you're working hard for a goal. You get what I'm saying? And everything is not going to be given to you. You have to work towards something so that you'll be able to get to your to accomplish that goal. So I understand. I think it should be mandatory that all programs fundraise. Because for those extra little things, it's less money coming out your parents' pockets. Perfect. So but when it comes to, certain things, now if the district say, hey, all school, whatever program it is, athletic program, if they make it the regionals or they make it the state, we'll pay for the one night in the hotel and we'll pay for transportation, but the school will be reimbursed. Cool, no problem. That way, so your fundraise money, if you want to stay an additional day, so that way your team can rest up and then go. But some schools literally partner up with another school, go to state, perform,
But
get
that's
back
the
on the
part
bus,
that
and
never
come
made
back.
sense to that's the part that never made sense to me, because my thing of it is that if you are being reimbursed for what you spent, why do you need to partner with another school if you getting all that money back? That part to me doesn't make any sense at all, because it's not like you losing. It's a loan. You're loaning it out temporarily to get it back. So what sense does that make? So basically, it just sounds like you're trying to cuff the money on the sly, being honest. Because
Yeah.
if you go have with another school, but then you present something else as if this is what you paid for, then what? You basically got extra money for false. Make
Somebody
it
need to
make
hire
sense.
me to audit these principals. And I ain't gonna be
But
nice about it. I'm blasting everybody. I'm going on Twitter and
but my
blasting
question is
everybody.
this. With that being said, if you have an administration that sucks, but at the same time, we're gonna go back to parental support. You got a lot of schools that ain't got neither of the two. So where do they get their help from?
And that was what we dealt with. We didn't have, it was some cheerleaders on our program, our team. We ain't
Seen a
I
dime.
ain't paid $1 since they been there.
mama who? What who was your mother? I've never seen
But
your
mama,
mama.
mama is laid to the God.
But
So
don't
at
want to pay
that,
$35 for some shoes.
I'm just really trying to understand. Uh, cheerleading has been a sport since what, 2008? I want to say. Really took off and really got noticed past
Yeah,
what, 2012
give or
on
take.
back. So it's uh like she is it Coral? I might be saying her name wrong. But she says that they fundraise, it goes directly to their account. Awesome. All for it. What about those schools who do fundraise or
And
try to
it go in
fundraise?
their account, but their account is the whole damn school athletic account. And then when you go back in there to use it, then they say that it ain't there. How the fuck when I just put $5,000 in there? Where the fuck is my $5,000?
Do they do receipts?
We gotta watch the F-bomb on YouTube.
I'm sorry, YouTube. I do apologize. But where's my $5,000?
We got questions.
I'm really trying to understand, because you got some parents that don't want to fundraise either. You got some
Hmm.
parents who feel as though you want my daughter to chill, so you need to make sure she able to chill, so to speak. What do we do with those parents with that mindset? Because that is definitely a pet peeve of mine. You know that your child loves to cheer. It keeps your child out of trouble, gives your child something to look forward to.
She didn't
And
say babysitter. If when you go get a babysitter, you have to pay the babysitter. So
they
since
When
ain't
she
paying
you
the
uses
babysitter either.
here,
when you get a service, you have to pay for it. And I'm in
You
the hair industry,
so
and
they
if
it
you
paying
want me to
behooves
the
me.
babysitter,
babysit your kids, me being cheer, you gotta pay me.
but they not paying the babysitter either.
And that's another topic that we can talk about, because the stipend that the coaches get
Ain't
for
nowhere
a
near what they
year,
need to get.
Listen. That is not a cheer chatter conversation. That's a state
that's
of
the
Florida
Florida. That's why I
conversation.
said that's another conversation, another topic that we could talk about, regardless whether it's just cheerleading or just sports overall in the state of Florida. That is something that needs to be talked about, because when I tell you this
I
stuff,
just got an idea for that conversation where we could include some football coaches because
I think you could
their
include.
football is usually the highest paid coaching.
They are.
And yeah, football is usually the highest paid coaching.
Oh, that's terrible.
And
If they the highest
it ain't
paid,
good for them either.
I
Um
know.
exactly. That's my
Let's
point.
just say that. So I think that's where we could kind of incorporate cheering football together. We can have some fun with that. But yeah, we could talk about that off air. However,
Yeah, the
yeah, I'm
stipend what these
sure.
coaches are getting is not, because if you
And
think
some of them
about it,
could
these
might be
coaches are with these girls from August to the following August. They may take a few weeks or months off, in between after the season is completely done with, and then they get back to they're not getting compensated for any of those. And it's a lot of those coaches that are digging in their own pockets to handle a
some of
lot
them
of this stuff.
going back into the program. The
Yeah,
stipend
no, not even
going,
some of it. All of that stipend going back into the program.
but
All of
how
it.
fair? And that's what. But as a parent, I'm not judging nobody else as a parent, but as a parent, if I see that my child enjoys something and move hell and high water, I ain't got it like that either. Period.
Mm-mm.
All of us are single moms. Let's call a spade a spade. But if it's gonna put a smile on my child's face and make sure that he or she is good, I'm gonna make it happen in some way, shape, or form. I don't care. Okay, I can't say that part.
Yeah, I mean, I think I
Take a
totally
little
agree with
leg.
that. Regardless of, like, and I use this for an example. Last year, I went out of town to Orlando to help celebrate a good friend of mine's birthday. It was the
Mm-hmm.
same exact weekend as the UCA qualifiers in Tampa. Thank the Lord, the birthday festivities was in Orlando, which required me maybe a 45 minute to an
Hour
hour
drive.
drive to Tampa. But guess what?
Make it happen.
Hey, I'll get with y'all later tonight, but I'm gonna drive over to Tampa and support my baby. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I want her to know that her mama was in the building, that her mama was there. And I'm not, if it's a dire reason why I have to miss, it's because I have a work event that I can't miss.
Correct.
I'm in
Correct.
the hospital, I'm sick, or even I'll even say my mom. If my mom or one of my siblings is not, is sick they're in the hospital and they physically need me to be there, that's totally different. But any other reason, I'm gonna be in the
So
building. I'm in the
I'm here
building
to
for my
tell what
baby because if she
his
don't
whole
see
family.
nobody else's face, she gonna see her mama face.
He gonna see me. He gonna see me.
From Najee been playing football for since he was what, 5? He's 19 now. I literally missed 2 games. One of them I was in the hospital, and the second one, which was this year, my flight got canceled the morning of the game. Two
Mm.
times. And we talking about traveling. We ain't talking about up the street. That no,
Correct.
we talking about
Mhm.
literally traveling. And both of y'all make more money than I do right now. Cause right now I ain't making no money. But I'm just saying, um, it's the sacrifices you made when you do come across something. Hey, let me go put this up because I know this is my child's schedule. You plan in advance. So when we talk about parental support, it's not just fundraising. Like I was a
Correct.
parent, I hate fundraising,
Me too.
like despise it. So what I would do with my son's coaches in high school, it wasn't as much fundraising, but on the park, it was a whole lot. My son was was on one of those teams where they had 3 and 4 uniforms, 2 helmets, different shoes. They traveled on the park, all of this stuff before it became like really popular, where people were getting sponsors. This was back when it was coming out of pocket. So I told coach, hey, what's my final number I need to give?
That
Give
part.
me my final number. All right. Well, I'm gonna pay you every time I get paid.
Mhm.
And that's how we gonna work it because
That was
I'm not a
me.
fund. First of all,
I'm
I didn't
not
really have time to fundraise because I lived in Fort Lauderdale. I was working in Miami. He was going to school in Fort Lauderdale, but then practicing in Miami. So let's put a timeline on this. I was getting up 5:30 in the morning so I could be to work in Miami. Then I would have to leave work, come back to Fort Lauderdale to pick him up, to take him back to Miami. When I got time to talk to somebody about giving me a couple of dollars for some donuts, I don't. I'm tired.
I
So
literally
I would
find
just pay.
it for
And
myself.
that's okay, parents. It's fine if
It's
you got to do
okay.
it that
But
way.
you
But that's still your contribution to the number
correct.
that your coach would like your child to bring in for the team so that the team can collectively have whatever it is that they needed. I used to go to my parents. They would help me out a lot as well. But at the end of the day, whatever that number was that my coach said he wanted per player, I made sure I had it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. And fundraising for me, I don't like it either. But if I am in a situation where financially I'm not going to be able to maintain and keep up, I'm going to fundraise. Um,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
if it's less money coming out of my pocket for whatever reasons, again, I don't like to fundraise. But
I
hey, is this an
mean,
opportunity for me to, because if the coach is telling you, oh,
Oh, you
oh
you had a little thumb?
yeah.
I saw it. Oh,
y'all don't finally update.
sorry if y'all didn't see us when we was just on Facebook. We had this whole thing about all of the little new things that the Apple is letting us do. So we had a moment. Sorry.
So, but yes,
Terrible.
Heather had a good thing here. She says, I have many parents that buy out for fundraisers. It makes both
It
sides.
makes
Exactly.
It
Because some
does.
parents, like
absolutely
Naisha says, don't have the time to
really don't.
fundraise. They don't have the extra time. Personally, I don't have the extra time. I have to make the time because I want, to contribute, not just for my own child, but I do know that there are other people on my daughter's team who financially can't, they can't do it for whatever reasons. It's none of my business, but I try to do a little extra. If I'm gonna do help with fundraising, I do a little extra just in case because the pot is for the team in general. And of course, I'm
Mhm.
supporting my daughter, but my main concern is I want to support the program itself. So, when it comes to fundraising, if they say 20 donuts, I'm gonna try to push for 25, 30. I'm gonna try to push for, and one time, hey baby, I was the donut lady. I was the Krispy Kreme
You a donut
queen.
pusher?
I was the Krispy Kreme queen. Like, baby, you want some dough? I got you. I got certificates. Let's go. What you want?
How you
What you
right?
got? And I
Push
and
it
I
though.
made. I think I was pushing them, honey. And I think I had
Now you
raised
the
maybe.
popcorn pusher.
That you are.
Listen, we told our coach this go around. Hey, you can do whatever fundraiser, but if you do double good, you just tell me what I need to pay out of pocket. I just don't have it. Because
Mm-mm.
with double good, everybody's doing double good. Everybody.
Everybody,
There's not a day
everybody.
I don't go on social media and I don't see no mama or I don't see no daddy or no uncles, aunties, grandparents, a program, a
But what
sorority,
happened?
fraternity,
But my
somebody
question,
doing double good.
I just
but
want to
what happened?
interject. Hold on. When I start working again, if you doing double good,
Don't
let me
inbox me.
know. I am
Do
a
not
double
inbox.
good purchaser, okay?
Do not
I
inbox.
am the reason why double good is with every park, every team, everybody. I am the reason why double good is being pushed the way that it's pushed because
You just
I
go
am
to
a
buy
double
it.
good purchaser. I will get my easy peasy caramel cheesy. I'm getting my jalapeno
You right.
cheddar. I and when I got it, I can easily spend $100 on double good and be very satisfied
We
about it.
know. Because every time we share it, and you be like, damn
Yeah,
it.
don't.
I be wanting to cry when I ain't got it. I promise you
But
I be
what?
wanting to cry because
But my
I
question
really
is,
enjoy double good and I know the effects of the fundraiser because we did it in track. So
Mhm.
I literally saw the numbers roll in from what was being sold. And it's a very good fundraiser when you're talking about the profits from it. So I
Yeah.
understand why people doing, but that popcorn, baby, that popcorn is crack. Okay.
but my question is, I get like double good, great fundraisers, but what happened to like the old school fundraisers? No shade. But I wouldn't mind somebody washing my car because it need to be washed right now.
Baby, I don't know. It's too many videos going on social media with little critters being in the car. So I don't think people want to watch
I
cars
ain't
no
got no
more.
crittles. I ain't got no
You know,
critters
but
in my
other
car.
people do.
But
Listen, do the outside, don't do the inside.
Listen,
I ain't got no
because
critters in my car. But what I'm all for fundraising. I really am.
no,
But
but I agree. Car
no,
wash, the
it's
little
necessary.
dollar. Remember
It
the
built
sheet, the
work
little dollar
ethic.
sheet where you had to just
Yeah.
hit the little saying, the little scratch
It,
off. Ooh, we
but it
used to
makes
scratch
them.
people off to death.
But do
Eh,
you wonder? I will say this, but do you wonder? Although we said that the kids should get it out the mud. Are the kids really getting it out the mud? Because it seems like the parents are doing the fundraisers and not the kids.
That's usually what happens. However, the kids are encourage the parents to do the fundraisers. So even if they're not doing it themselves, they're they see the hustle and bustle for their funds.
Because I
They
remember
definitely
when we
see
used
it.
to do fundraisers like washing cars and stuff like that, it built work ethic.
It does. They got the little boat thing, but I think now you kind of get away from those old school fundraisers, like with the dollars and stuff like that, because same thing we said about the tickets and the parking and all of that. People
Mm.
put it in their pocket, and two, people just don't really carry cash like that. So I think we gotta find a way for fundraising ideas. Shoot. That might be a chill chatter thing. We might need to start selling our fundraiser ideas. Y'all need a fundraiser. We got some ideas. If you make $50 off of it, we only want 10. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Terrible is what that is.
But
Can't
yes,
do
it
it.
is definitely very important for parents to be involved, and we're not saying just financially. Financially, yes, you definitely are going to be paying financially, but that
But
physical
yeah,
support,
yeah.
the
Because
physical support is
even
so important, not just for, you know what I'm saying, just for the program itself, but for your baby. Your baby is, and I get it. Something it sometimes can be a little hard, but this is where you need to partner up with another parent. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to Bartow this weekend. And then in 2 weeks we're going to Daytona. Partner up with a parent. If you cannot financially drive your car, you can't rent a car, you can't do whatever, partner with the parent, give some gas money if possible, or just say, hey, right now
mhm.
financially I just can't do anything, but I want to be present for my baby. Do that, because your baby, they love it. These kids love it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they doing good and they hit the mat, they run to you, they all happy and everything. Like these kids, and it's not just your kid that enjoys seeing it. It be their teammates as well. They enjoy seeing the parents in the stands, especially dads. Dads, if you have a little
Oh,
girl that's cheer,
listen.
please
I love me
come.
a cheer
Those baby
dad.
love them a good old cheer dad. We love a good
Listen,
cheer dad. We do.
my most
And we
memorable
starting
cheer
to
dad.
see a whole lot more of it. Like, I just watched
Correct.
the video, I want to say yesterday, where a dad was like doing the whole routine on the sideline. He in the stands and the girls was on the field. It was so cute. But I really wanted him to sit down because the people was trying to watch the game. But still, like you could tell that the cheerleaders thoroughly enjoyed the fact that he knew their routine. And remember, there's a part in the cheer for crowd participation. They're
Mhm.
cheering to the crowd. They need that feedback. But something I always thought about myself, especially now that my son plays on the college level, I would hate to not be at a game and my child have to go to the hospital by themselves.
Oh.
Um, that is like one of my biggest fears. So
That's
that's
understandable.
another motivation for me. Like, if he ever had an injury and he had to go to somebody's hospital and I'm not there, at
Mhm.
least in the waiting room, I don't know how I would handle that. And we know that cheerleaders get the same injuries that football players get, the exact same ones.
Mhm.
So make your it whatever your motivation has to be, make it that to make your cheerleader happy. And I also noticed that and because cheer is mainly girls, but I can't recall seeing a parent for the male cheerleaders.
Mm.
They need a lot of support as well, probably more support because they get a lot of heat just for being a male cheerleader, whether their
It's a
sexual
definite stigma.
orientation is heterosexual or homosexual, or they're transitioning or whatever. Being a male and being a cheerleader is hard.
Mhm.
So they need the support of their parents, just to get them through, to know that hey, no matter what you do, I support you. And so, come on, parents, we got to do better.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we because I'm a part of the parent club. I may not do what y'all do because I'm
Yeah.
there, but and I'm there for all the kids. Like if you look at
Yeah.
my Twitter, honestly, if you look at my Twitter, I'm arguing with people on Twitter about football. For kids, that ain't mine. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
cuss you out about mine, but I'm also cuss you out by my son's teammate or by a kid that I know or a kid that I don't know. I don't care because at the end of the day, these babies need all of our support, every single one of our support. I don't just do it for the kids that I know. I do it for the kids that I don't know. Shoot, I be at the competition. Ain't none of them kids on my team. My girls, I like Shaquesta baby. That's not my biological niece, but she my niece, and ain't nobody gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell me no different. But all of her friends, they're my nieces too.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the other girls on the team,
Well,
I'm gonna go
you have,
hug on them and talk to them.
you might
Shoot,
want to
I'm
tone
a
that down, Jemima.
She can't hear
Don't be
nobody.
claiming other people.
She can't hear unless she
Good,
watching.
because she
She
don't
can't
like
hear.
I'll listen
it
You
after
know she
because
don't like
competition.
that.
If you ain't doing this, I'm gonna hold you like this. Oh yeah, Maya kill me if I do too much about her friends.
yeah.
So
Niece,
yeah,
niece don't play.
she don't play
Just say
about
niece.
her auntie and her friends. But
Hello.
I love them
But she
all.
said,
I love her more. I have to
Mm-hmm.
put that out there just in case she's watching. I do love you more, but I love all the other girls just as much.
Yeah, because she is very
listen,
territorial,
somebody
extremely territorial.
somebody walked up to me and was like, "Hey, auntie." She to my no, ma'am. She is not your auntie. But you can say, "Hey, Miss K, how you doing?"
Yeah, she's very territorial, and I stay out of her affairs. I stay out of her affairs. So, we definitely had a great conversation today. Again, we can't
Yes,
reiterate how important administration and parental involvement is in the
I think
success of a
eventually
cheer
we have to
program. You say do
a
what?
happy medium. At some point, we have to come to a happy medium with
Mm-hmm.
parents and administration to be
Yeah.
on board for the success of these girls. Because this sport is only elevating, in my opinion. It's only elevating. And so, if some of these girls choose to make it a career, then what do we do at that point? Do you
Yeah.
not support your child at that point, or support them in general? But hopefully, in the close near future, we could be. This can be a better outcome for all schools across the board,
Yeah.
not just some.
Yeah. And I still don't think like even those that are getting the support from their administration, even on the state level, I don't think there's still enough funding coming into cheer. Um, Not for the individual teams, but for cheer as a whole sport. Like not really knowing where competition is going to be the next year and oh we're going to be in this facility and then turn around and it's going to be in that facility but then at this week like there has to be some type of change where money is really poured into it for it to be successful. And I know that money is scarce right now due to inflation, but when are we going to stop using that as an excuse from the higher ups? Like we can
Yep.
use it as an excuse because we're directly affected by it. But y'all at the top, some changes have to be made up there in order to make everybody down here more comfortable with being able to provide, the services for these cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
So, do we have any final thoughts?
Oh, I just said mine.
Parents show up and bring your
Yes, because
checkbook.
I can't stand
If you ain't
empty
got no
things.
checkbook, bring somebody that got one. And administration, stop holding the checkbook and putting it in your own pocket because
Or
we
somewhere
know
it
what
does
y'all be
not,
doing.
where it was not meant to be spent either.
I don't care if they putting it in another program. To me that's stealing. So stop putting it in your pocket because you put it in your pocket to put it in somebody else's pocket. So
Mm.
administration, Stop holding the checkbook and putting it in your pocket. And parents, bring your checkbook or bring somebody that got one. That solves the problem.
Yeah. Well, my final thoughts is it's hard out here being a cheer parent. It is hard. And it's hard out here being a parent that wants to push and advocate so much for cheerleading. And there's not enough parents physically that has the same passion that we all have when it comes to just physically and pushing the importance of this sport. Um, I do have another topic I want to bring up for another conversation, but we'll talk about that in the group chat. So thank you to our faithful 2 or 3 viewers that stayed with us the entire time. We definitely appreciate
Love
you
it.
commenting. Definitely, we're hoping for more people to jump on the YouTube world and watch our lives as well as go back. So if you need to go back and watch this episode and all the rest of the old episodes of Cheer Chatter, definitely we are encouraging you and we welcome
Spread the
you
word.
to follow us on at Cheer Chatter 23, and that's on YouTube, so that you can see all of our videos and our past episodes.
We're
And
actually pretty entertaining.
we can be. You can be
Very-
very entertaining.
We're back.
So
We'll be back next Sunday at 8 and back
yes,
every other Sunday at 8.
Yeah, we've been changing our time, and that could be a problem with our
viewers.
views, which is fine. We apologize, but they've been accommodating for me in my travel. Last Sunday, I was in the airport at the normal time, and then today I'll be in the air at the normal
And
time.
there,
So I
oh my
appreciate
God.
them. Hey, we didn't do a thankful episode. I'm thankful for my cheer chatter sisters for always accommodating for me and making it where I can be on, because I think I've recorded in the most places possible. I've recorded in the hotel, I've recorded in Angelique house, I recorded here, I recorded at my house, and I'm willing to record everywhere, but just I can't record in the air. I saw we, but we gonna be back at our normal time Sundays at 8. But it's because of me.
I am also
Spread the
thankful.
word.
Yes, please spread the word. I'm also thankful for my sisters as well. This has been an amazing and a very fun journey that I've been able to embark with you ladies, including Sade missing behind. I
Y'all
love
gonna
you
see her
all,
one day. Y'all gonna see her. I promise y'all gonna see her
and
one
not and not in the comment
Yeah.
section. But thank you, ladies, so very much for just being down for me. I think and I'm gonna just share this really quick. I think the most I think when Maya won state this year, you all back up. The year she made comp, y'all were more crunk than I was about her making comp. And then, of course,
was.
that first year was a disaster. We came in 4th place. But this year, when we actually won state, y'all, we were so crunk. I love watching our reaction video to state. I watch it
Five
because
had dropped like 6 times.
it's a constant reminder of just how how much y'all love my baby, and then how much y'all love and support her, the girls, and myself. And I'm very, very thankful for y'all. So thank you so very much for loving my baby, loving me, and then just including me in y'all lives. I am extremely thankful, and y'all make me proud all the time. I love y'all.
Oh,
We love you
y'all want to
too.
get all
Trust
you.
me, we love you.
All right, my turn. I'm not crying. You crying. I will say, when Isha shared the story earlier about us coaching at a particular park that shall remain nameless, is when this journey began. It
Yep.
has been an amazing journey since that time frame, and I will say I am thankful for I always say this is my single moms club. Here's why.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It's a listen. It's a great thing. And the reason why I say that is because I love how we empower each other as a whole. I love how we support each other and our kids as a whole. And our kids, you can't tell them that they ain't cousins because they will cuss and slap somebody clean out if they say that they ain't cousins. They letting you know off real. That ain't how we grow. Our kids were raised
Absolutely.
like cousins, and they know they will fight tooth and nail. But I love, and they call all of y'all aunties literally. Not a day goes by where Kamari ain't saying, "Hey, Auntie Q. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Isha. Where my aunties at?" And I love that about us as a whole. Um, I will say I love our cheer chatter journey because we have been loving cheer since we have started. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we now get to share our love for cheer with the world is a great thing for me as well. Love it. I'm hoping to continue on this journey and grow, and we go global.
Yay! That is the
Okay,
definitely
Global, speak it
goal.
into existence. One of these days, y'all gonna see us recording live from the Olympic Games. It might be the
Hello.
'Hello,
2030 some Olympic Games,
hello,
but we gonna be
all
there.
day, all day. We gonna be there. We gonna be in the building.
Absolutely.
But I I thank you, ladies, for being there through the blood, sweat, and tears, because there have been plenty of tears.
Mm-hmm.
Tears, the tears, the tears.
And the upliftment of one another, especially when we have our down and out moments. We always encourage each other, and that's very
Mm-hmm.
rare that you meet a circle of people that encourage you just as much,
Mm-hmm.
um, and want to see you succeed wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yes.
thank you, ladies. But now I get to share one of our success. We get to share one of our successes with each other, which
Yeah.
is cheer chatter.
Cheer Chatter
All
is
right.
definitely more than just a podcast. It's definitely a sisterhood of
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
four people that genuinely know and love each other inside out. Like I grew up watching Shaquesta. My sister and Shaquesta were in high school at the same time, but I grew up watching her cheer. Me and Sade grew up cheering together. I've been knowing her since elementary school, and we cheered on the park and in high school together. Me and Kamisha cheered together in high school, so we
Friday
not
is my
just know each other, like we know each other like Amisha said, when we down and out, we are each other's, comfort blanket. We're, each other's ear. We're each other's support group. And I, like y'all know, recently I moved. So things have not flown in the way that I would have liked them to go. And y'all know how we always say, if you want God to laugh, make a plan. And that's pretty much
Oh,
what God
tell them
doing
your
right now. He laughing at me. Um, so my plans have not been going the way that I wanted them to go. But without these people, I don't know where I would be. I think they keep me from my depression. I might fall back a little bit because I kind of be in my feelings, but they know to check on me every now and then. But man, if you don't have a group like this, find you one, even if we have to be it.
That's
um
why I say I remind y'all. I call this my single moms club because if you've ever seen the Tyler Perry movie, that's exactly what that group was for each other once they met each other when their kids all got in trouble.
mhm.
Um, they all had to rally together to throw an event, but then they all ended up becoming the best of friends with making sure that all of them were good. All of them still live life. One of them would watch the kids, and the rest of them would go out and have a good time. But we always leave our kids. Don't judge
Our
us.
kids old enough to be left alone. So don't think we just leaving our
Well,
kids
what
behind.
what happened? The story is, remember we brought them to the state tournament with us, and we
That's
was
what
like, this will be
the
the
big
first
stuff.
and only
And the
time.
last time.
And this what happened. So it wasn't that we don't be wanting to include them. We did include them, but when we all came back to the meetings of the minds, we was like, yeah, we won't be doing this no more.
Because it was Kamari,
Dejan,
Dejan, Najee,
Najee, Jemiah, and I had
Maya,
Justice.
and
Justice.
Just.
And we
said
had Justice.
no,
They've been
never
thinking,
again.
they've been
And they're
thinking
not bad
66.
kids.
They're not.
They're
They've
not
been
bad kids.
So just to give y'all a breakdown of the kids, you have the oldest, which is mine. He is the daddy of the cousins. He is the one that is going to embarrass you. He's going to walk in your class
Yeah.
and call you by your mom's name.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. He's not, if you're a girl, you do not get to have a boyfriend.
No.
He doesn't care how old you are. You can be 45 years old. He's not going to allow you to have a boyfriend.
Ooh, I
If
can't wait
you're the
to
male, he's going to encourage you to play with all of the girls. He
Yeah.
is the daddy of the group, but he's also the jokester of the group. So everything, any minute thing, he gonna joke about.
It's the punchline.
Then you got Kamari. His bedtime is 8:00. He's the brainiac, which is cool, but his bedtime 8:00. Dejan, he there, but he not there.
Yeah.
But he there.
Yeah.
Then you got Maya, who is, even though Najee is the daddy, Maya is the boss.
She is the boss.
She is the boss. And her and Kamari are like the Bopsy twins.
Mm-hmm.
They flip and frat. They
Mud and Jeff.
Yeah, they all of that. They the ones that
joint at the hip.
Right. Because they are the same age.
Literally.
And Maya does remind him that she's 4 months older than him. She lets him know, I am 4 months older than you, and you do what I tell you to do.
But listen,
and she reminds him this.
When they both said after May the 1st, they don't play with kids.
Oh my God. I still watch that video too, because they was wilding. Them two was wild.
Play with us. Won't play with kids. I was like, wait, what?
Shut up.
They shot out. But I mean, when I say the kids are just as close as that we are, and I love it because we only have only children. Me, you, and each, we only have only kids. So we only have that one child, just one. And one of my biggest fears was I didn't want her to feel alone being the only child because I wasn't having any more children. So I'm happy that she does have a circle, and it's not just with just our babies, but just she does have a circle of people around her who are like siblings or like distant cousins and stuff like that. And they are, some of them are only kids too, and then you got some of them that got siblings that they're all close and that they talk. See, they even have a group chat too. But that they're all cool with each other. So I'm happy that I was able to help provide that for her, and I'm happy and I'm thankful that you all were able to, not even knowing, come in and to assist and being that sibling group for her, because her mama wasn't having them on kids. So,
and that's why all the football players used to spend the night at my house, because them was his brothers, and that was the only brother situation you was gonna be having is your teammates, and they used to be with me all the time. I always had somebody kids with me and didn't have not one problem with it.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't no more kids coming one and done. Especially when payments for stuff start coming up. No,
I just dropped Kamari.
Can't do this again.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in to Cheer Chatter Podcast for our episode tonight. Again, if you didn't get a chance to watch today's episode or any of our past episodes, I strongly encourage you to do so. Go on YouTube at Cheer Chatter 23. Watch us. Even leave some comments. Let us know. We are open to suggestions, comments, or topics.
Especially share your topics so you can
share. So we can talk about it. All right. So with that being said, ladies, I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Safe travels, Isha May.
Yes.
And I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready.
Then come on back.
Okay.
That's what my child told me. You talking about they move back.
That part. I'm with my nephew on that part.
I'm with Neff now. I'm roll with him right or wrong, but I'm definitely rolling with him on this. Come back. Come on back.
I may have a job for you.
I need cost of living to be better because where I'm living and what I'm paying right now, I don't think nobody could beat that.
Yeah, but
Understandable.
we ain't there.
You right.
Well, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and cheerfully yours. Good night. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talking about some good night.
Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? 3, 2, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen,